Is the number of vegans growing?
Well, yeah, it is. It's slow and steady, but it's steady. That's one of the wonderful things. So we are now, there have been some pretty good numbers done. Sometimes the numbers are kind of all over the place depending on the study and the survey and how they ask the question. But the information we have now is that there are 3% vegans in the US. And that has grown dramatically in the last 3 years, or 3 decades, sorry, in the last 3 decades. That really has grown, which is really wonderful to see. The other thing that clues us in is things like clues us into the fact that veganism is really growing and taking off, is that the search on Google for vegetarian and vegetarian always had the higher number of searches between the two words. That changed exactly 10 years ago in 2011, and the word vegan overtook the searches in Google for the above the word vegetarian. And now for the last 10 years, the word vegan has been more searched than the word vegetarian. And we're seeing so much growth in the industry as far as the vegan products and the food that's out there, the change in the restaurant industry for more vegan options. It's really heartening to see the growth. And like I said, it's been a real steady growth, and that's good. There hasn't been a lot of fluctuation up and down, just steady growth, and we're going to continue that steady growth on into the future. I have great hope that we will embrace our compassionate nature and create the vegan world that we all want to see for the animals, for the planet, and for ourselves.
What should we feed our dogs and cats? Can they be vegan?
So yes, they can be. Dogs and cats are actually a bit different. Dogs are omnivores and cats are carnivores. So dogs are much easier to be vegan. They can be vegan pretty easily. They are omnivores like us. They thrive on plant-based diet, no problem. There's lots of vegan dog foods out there that are really wonderful. The formulas are improving every year. They're getting more and more nutritious and better for the animals. And there's a lot of great vegan dog foods to try. So there's no reason your dog can't be vegan. Now, cats, it's a little different. Cats are carnivores, and they need an enzyme, an amino acid called taurine. And so taurine is very important in their diet. We don't need it. You only find taurine in animals, in animal products. So they do need that taurine. There is vegan cat food. And again, like I said, the formulas are improving every year. They're getting better and better. I would say talk to your vet. If you want to switch over to a vegan cat food. Cats are a little trickier with it, so you want to be very observant and very careful and be sure that they're doing okay on the vegan diet, but it can be done. And I know a lot of cats that are on vegan diets out there and that are thriving and healthy. Another exciting thing that's happening is cultured meat, cell-based meat. And why I'm excited about it is for pet food. I would really love for that industry to focus on pet food so that the cats and dogs in our lives can have, especially the cats because they need it, have meat that came from the growing of the cultured cells and not directly from slaughtered animals. So I'm hoping that that will be a cat food option soon.
If we raise animals in our backyard and then slaughter them ourselves, is this humane? What about backyard eggs?
Yeah, so it's kind of two different questions. I'm going to start with the backyard egg part of it, and then we'll get into the slaughter. So backyard eggs, this is a trend certainly that's happening now. People are really getting into this. There's kind of a do-it-yourself upsurge happening, especially during the pandemic. People are planting gardens, getting chickens, wanting to do more of their own food growing and gathering. So having backyard chickens, I believe that this can be an ethical situation to have backyard chickens, but only as your companion animals, only as your friends, just like your dog and cat. If you are getting a chicken just for the eggs, then you're commodifying that animal. There's the only reason you're getting that animal is for a product, a food, and so I'm afraid that that animal's welfare will be compromised in some way. I think we have to look at animals, as living, breathing, sentient animals, because they are. And so, but that said, I think we can have companion animals. In fact, I think we really need to dismantle the idea of who is a companion animal, and not limit it to just dogs and cats, because there are people now that are living with chickens, living with pigs, that are coming into the house, that are part of the family, and it's a beautiful situation. So that can be wonderful. There needs to be criteria met, though. One thing is that you need to rescue that animal. We don't want to buy an animal ever. You don't want to ever give money to an industry, even the local feed store or on Craigslist. They got those chickens from hatcheries. And I've already described the horrors of the hatcheries. That's where all those chicks come from. So we don't want to ever buy a chicken or a chick, but you can rescue. And there's lots of farm sanctuaries that are offering adoptions for chickens. You could try your local animal shelter. They often have chickens that come through. You can put your name on a list or something that you were wanting a chicken. And once you take that chicken in, then just like your dog and cat, you've got to be sure that everything is in place for them. They need a predator-proof enclosure, so that predators can't get to them. You need to be sure you understand what their food, the best food for them is. You've got to keep their coop clean and clean their coop often. So all those things, need to happen. And also veterinary care. And that's something that you really should consider, because unfortunately, chickens, because of the egg industry and the chicken flesh industry, have been genetically manipulated, that they never, it's very rare for them to live out their lives. And so when they do, and they're able to be rescued and live their lives out, they often have a lot of health issues. So you need to have a vet that knows what they're doing with a chicken, knows chickens, and be able to have the money for veterinary care. So to be aware of that as well. And of course, let them live their lives out in peace. So I think you can have a backyard chicken. That's just wonderful. However, we don't want to eat the eggs. I do not advise eating the eggs. And even if it's this wonderful situation and you're caring for the animal, I still feel that we should not eat eggs, and here's why. We really need to stop looking at eggs as food. It's not food. It's not human food. We have to stop thinking of eggs and dairy and flesh as food. As long as we think of these things as food, there's going to be exploitation and suffering of animals somewhere. We need to have a vegan ethic. And if you are eating your eggs at home, it might be a little easier to, oh, well, my friend bakes some muffins, she has eggs in them. Oh, I'm an egg eater. You're identifying as an egg eater. It might be a little easier to eat those muffins with eggs. It's important for us to identify as vegan and to hold that stance, and to gently and lovingly say to your friend, yeah, thank you so much, but I don't eat eggs. We really have to stop looking at animal products as food, because it's not. It's the commodification and exploitation of another sentient being's body. And as long as we look at that, look at those things as food, there will be that exploitation. And the other part of the question was slaughter, backyard slaughter. Now, this one seems much more obvious to me as to what the problems are and why it's wrong. We should not take another animal's life prematurely of their full lifespan. Just uh, it, it, it seems very obvious to me, and I hope eventually will be obvious to everyone, that this is wrong. These animals want to live. They want to see another day of life. They want to experience another day of sunshine. They want to breed. They want to love and have friendships. And it's every animal wants to live. Every animal fights death. I mean, that's another thing that we don't realize. But when you look at the slaughterhouse footage, those animals know. They know what's happening to them. They know what's coming, and they are fighting for their lives. They're struggling and fighting to live. So we have no right to take their lives. And to think that a backyard slaughter or a small scale situation would be any more humane, unfortunately, it's just not. It's just not. And I actually, in my book, The Ultimate Betrayal, I have accounts from backyard farmers and backyard slaughterers of these botched slaughter attempts, of people attempting to slaughter animals. It's not easy to kill an animal, and these animals writhing in pain, and then kind of freaking out on the situation. I mean, it's just awful. So to think that it's any more humane because it's in someone's backyard, it's not. And there's just no reason to think that. And we shouldn't be taking their lives to begin with. We can live healthy, thriving on a plant-based diet. There's no need to kill. There's no need to take their lives.
Why was it important for you to come back and speak at the Real Truth About Health conference?
Well, I was very honored to be asked back, and I'm grateful to do it. I love that it's still happening, even though we're in the midst of a pandemic, but wonderful that it's all gone online. So that's great. I really give props to the organizers for that. And it's important to get this information out there. I'm so grateful to you for listening, for caring, and for wanting to improve your health, to improve the health of the planet, and to help animals. So it's a wonderful thing that this conference is going on, continuing strong online, and I'm just honored to be here.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege to have you, and thank you for all of your meaningful work and the difference you're making, and just especially for educating all of us in our audience. And we really appreciate all of your time today, Hope. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Be well.